mental health is a thing that's been, come into the kind of common vernacular over the last 2 years, but also something that's coming up more and more on the show, just because, like I say, everyone's been through kind of a shared experience over in 2020. And I think for a short period of time, everyone was actually open about that. What, if don't mind me asking, but where is your head at after 13 years of 2-a-days running and gunning discipline? This is my focus, to saying, like, I'm not going to do that anymore. Like, did you stop training completely? Did you just, how do you walk away from like your life?
Well, so it was an interesting point. So one of the bits I didn't touch upon was after that loss, the second, the penultimate fight. It affected my mental health massively, because obviously I'd lost my Superman syndrome. I'd questioned who I was. Massive life epiphany moment of like, what am I doing here? And I actually suffered from really severe anxiety at the time. I had a form of PTSD, minor, not severe, like, a lot of people associate it with what soldiers go through.
Sure, but that's the fullest PTSD you can have, right?
Yeah,
And there's a lot of levels.
Yeah, I had a minor amount compared to that, but it was traumatic for me. It led to panic attacks that I'd never had in my entire life. I remember openly, one of the most horrific memories in my mind is after I lost that fight. Also, the people you feel you've let down, and your own. At the time, the corner team I had, they were like as disappointed in me as I was, let's say, or it felt like that. This is not to say the team I was training with. This was my corner team, my manager and some of the guys who were cornering me. And I remember being in the shower after fight, literally crying to myself, like without every moment that I've thought was leading to this moment, didn't come to fruition. It was like, imagine someone says, you're going to win the lottery, you're going to win the lottery, you're going to win the lottery. Today's the day you're going to win the lottery, and then you don't win the lottery. You're like, oh, I thought I was going to win the lottery.
It's like that, but to get this lottery ticket and you're going to win it, you got to train hard. You got to throw every part of your body at this every single day.
I sacrificed a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, I'd sacrifice as much as most to get there. And I just remember being in this sorry state, and then that's when the martial arts in me actually really paid off, because I remember it threw me back to like, what did I do when I had hardship as a martial artist? And it was like, okay, meditation was powerful. And this was really even before meditation, or this was just when it was just starting to become more popularized, like mindfulness meditation. Because obviously it's kind of exploded in the last 5 years, and I'd say I was on the precipice of that.
Yeah, there's apps, there's people like me who would never have kind of got into, that's a bit airy fairy, tried it, loved it, sits well with the mind, because it's become such a kind of common part of the vernacular, right?
Yeah, indeed. Well, I found out, I went back to my roots in meditation, basically, found myself again a bit. I did seek some professional help at the time, saw a psychiatrist to help to get an understanding of like, am I doing the right things more nice. To the point? They were really happy with me, and they said, you know what, it was a real positive experience, because they were like, you know what, you've actually self-analyzed yourself, and you've already done everything we would have described or prescribed.
Right.
So keep doing it. And it was kind of that, like I said, that ultimately led me back to being able to fight again, because I'd actually, for the first time in my life, put my mental fitness as an important part of training,
as high as the physical. And I think, AJ, like it's an important. It's why I want to ask, because I mean, that's a really important thing for some people to hear. There's a lot of people, maybe men especially. I'm saying that just because that's the experience I understand. But a tough guy, a fighter, right? A competitive fighter in MMA. All you guys who sit drinking a can of beer on a Saturday night, watching these guys telling them how they should have done that choke and not this choke, right? People are scared of owning up to things like seeking help. Well, I seek help for my IT that I don't understand, and I have a personal trainer because he's better at like telling me what to do and what to lift to get to where I want to go and my goals. Why not go and see an expert about your brain, because it runs everything for you, right? And if you find yourself not in a good place, it just makes sense. And it's just nice to hear, I think, that it made sense to go because of the position you're in, but also, immediately gratification because actually, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Sweet. But if you weren't doing the right thing, they would have been able to give you some tools and such and get you back on that right track. Right. And it's nice to hear.
Yeah, well, hopefully it inspires some people out there that even the toughest people can suffer from this. I mean, some of the toughest people out there are suffering from this as well. Like, it's just whether they choose to speak about it, right?
Exactly.
And as you said, I think that's probably a UK thing. I think the UK specifically, we have this kind of a very negative culture in general still, and so we tend, especially that kind of like man's man attitude of like, I don't speak about my problems is quite prevalent here.
Haven't cried since the Euro '96 and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's probably our generation and beyond are better at this, but the previous generation are more locked up. Like our fathers would be the ones that would be like, don't talk about your feelings, don't cry, don't show weakness kind of generation.
Want to go for a pint? Oh, so we can talk? No, we'll just drink. Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I think, seeking, even though my sort of help that I sought was very short-lived and I only needed a very small touch from a psychiatrist. I think the UK, that is kind of like almost dirty words to be like, oh, you needed a shrink to help you. But
I don't understand that mentality because again, I will literally find experts to help me with every facet of my life. Like I'll buy a good thing which does the right stuff. I will get the best plumber in to come and fix, but then I'll just sit worrying about myself and know there's something wrong and not want to talk about it. It's sad that there is that kind of stigma. And like I say, it's just nice to talk to someone like yourself, because for anyone out there who's like, yeah, but only those guys would go. Well, AJ was kicking ass and taking names for 13 straight years and still had, the bravery essentially, to go and do it, but also to talk about it as well. So I really appreciate it, because I think you're right. It does. Conversations like this can help inspire people to be like, well, okay. And if one person gets a little relief or a little help from that, that's great. And maybe the generation of when we're fathers, or when I'm a father, you're a father, when we're the generation of fathers and those kids are there, hopefully they can turn around to us and we're not the previous generation of being like, bottle it up, push it right down. So it builds a nice big ulcer. We can let that out and have that conversation. So post that last fight, acting. Wow. How does one move from, like I say, kicking ass, taking names, training twice a day, putting it all out on the line, to acting? It seems like two different people to me, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably it's more similar than you think. Like I said, it's more about, I think a lot of fighters specifically, or people who fight, are really probably trapped showmen as well to some degree. Like what I enjoyed was the crowd. I enjoyed doing things that set a spectacle. And that's, like I said, fighting is really a stage.
Yeah.
You're a persona that is admired by a crowd of people, you're really forming a character in front of them, right?
Sure.
Whether that's you or something you create. But for me, it was a weird transition because like I said, retiring from fighting was like, there was about a period of like 3 months where I was like, oh God, like I'm so I've always been, from a kid, I've been everyone will tell you, anyone of my friends, if you ever speak to them, and they would say, I'm the most driven person they know. I can't not be going forward. Like, I don't know what backwards is. And so that 3 months was like, I just iterated heavily. It was like brainstorming my life of like all the things I like and enjoy. Where do I go next to drive forward? But also feeling lost and feeling like, I don't know.
What if I don't find an answer? What if I don't find an answer? Like, I need to fight, like I'm working very hard to find the next thing, but what if I don't find anything? It's got to be petrifying.
Yeah. And so the one thing that was constant in my life at that point was playing video games. And I sort of said to myself, well, I'm pretty good at this. And why don't I try streaming and YouTubing? And so I teamed up with a bunch of friends. They didn't last very long because of the work ethic behind that. They would not really, I don't think they understand, these YouTubers and streamers work hard. They put in long, ridiculous hours playing the same. It's no different to testing the games. They're putting in ridiculous hours over and over and over again, and trying to be a personality as well. And I did actually have some success here, and that's what spurred me on. So I was streaming on Twitch. I got to the point where people were donating money to me. I was,
Nice.
I'd done a few YouTube videos. None of this exists anymore. It's all since gone, so don't go looking for it. I like to kind of erase the past as much as I can.
I like it. And that is in a box, and I'm going to throw that box in the sea. Cool. Next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, no. So I did that. Had a few breakout YouTube videos on games, and then I was like, I got, again, it only lasted about 6 months where I was like, wow, this is intense, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm like, this is destroying the passion for playing games.
This is the thing I enjoyed, and now it's making it work.
Well, whether I enjoyed playing some of the games I enjoyed, questionable. Like, there's a defining line between, I think competitiveness is what drove me a lot of the time. Playing online multiplayer games to win more than enjoying them was a factor. It appealed to my competitiveness. But I basically had the epiphany there. I was like, what I've enjoyed most again is being on camera. I was like, I'm enjoying the interaction with the audience. And I put the two and two together. I was like, well, I enjoyed that in fighting. I enjoyed that on here. So, and I kind of went all the way back to my childhood and was like, well, I did study drama for a little bit as a kid. I was like, up to sort of A level. And then this kind of like haunting moment hit me, which was my drama teacher at college. So it was a weird thing. So in my drama AS, I got an A on my practical and a U in my theory. And I think there was another U for something else, for writing or something. And I remember my drama teacher saying to me, like, AJ, you're a really good actor, but you basically suck at academic acting. Like, and you should come back to this when you're ready, if you do at some point in your life. And I was very headstrong then, and being physically gifted as an athlete, and I was obviously focusing on going into MMA then a little bit as well.
Sure.
I was like, you know what, like, bye drama, I don't need you. I can do this.
1 out of 3 is 1 out of 3 ain't what I'm achieving here. I'm going to go and get 3 out of 3 in martial arts. It's so interesting. I did the same thing. I love drama. I wanted to be a drama teacher all through high school. Drama. And then went to college, and they were like, cool. So theater studies. I was like, yeah, cool. When are we going to like do a drama thing? And they were like, oh, next year. I was out. That was me kind of like, I don't want to learn about the stuff. I want to do it. Like, I like I like acting. I like everything about theater and being on film, etc. But I didn't want to just learn about theory. It just wasn't my thing.